The Book of Proverbs is a collection of wise sayings and teachings that offer guidance for living a righteous and virtuous life. It emphasizes the importance of wisdom, understanding, and the fear of the Lord as the foundation for making sound decisions and living a life in alignment with moral and ethical values. Throughout the book, readers are advised on various aspects of life, including the importance of seeking knowledge, being diligent and honest, valuing humility, and practicing kindness and compassion. It also warns against the pitfalls of folly, laziness, and wickedness. The book portrays wisdom as a valuable treasure and encourages individuals to pursue it diligently. It presents the ideal of a wise and virtuous person as one who is compassionate, generous, and guided by moral principles. It emphasizes that a life lived in wisdom leads to blessings, happiness, and prosperity. In summary, the Book of Proverbs serves as a guide for individuals seeking to make wise choices, live a righteous life, and cultivate strong moral character. It offers practical and timeless advice on various aspects of life, providing readers with insights into the value of wisdom, virtue, and a close relationship with the divine. Proverbs 1, Wisdom's Call. Listen up, this is Solomon's game plan, straight from the smartest guy around. It's all about gaining insight, learning the ropes, and getting some street smarts. These proverbs are all about boosting your wisdom and sharpening your discernment. We're dishing out some real talk, so pay attention. Smart people, those in the know, they listen and learn more. Soak it all in, there's always something new to pick up. Start with a healthy respect for the Lord, that's the first step. Listen to what your parents teach you, it's like gold in your pocket. This wisdom will protect you, like armor, and keep you safe. Don't fall into the bad crowd schemes, stay away from their plans. They're into violence and chaos, they're a no-go. Wisdom will help you stay on the straight and narrow. When you ignore it, you're headed for trouble, fast. These shady characters are out to hurt you, ready to shed blood. They're not picky, they take out anyone, even you. But wisdom shouts from the rooftops, it's on the corner, calling you out. Hey, come be smart, don't be foolish, choose wisdom. They're after you, these danger lovers, looking for trouble. They're gonna get themselves in a mess, it's bad news. But if you listen to wisdom, you'll be safe. Wisdom's knocking at your door, calling you to pay attention. How long are you gonna be naive? How long are you gonna be simple-minded? Listen to me, and I'll give you the scoop on life, I'll give you my wisdom. But if you ignore me, I'll just shake my head and say, good luck with that. When trouble hits, and it will, you'll be on your own. You'll call for help, but no one will answer. You'll be knee-deep in the mess you created. You ignored wisdom, so it's sayonara to your safety net. You loved making bad choices, and it's payback time. The consequences are coming, and it's gonna sting. You ignored wisdom's call, and now you're stuck with the mess you made. The foolish choices you made are coming back to haunt you. But those who listen to wisdom will rest easy. They'll be safe, without a care in the world. Proverbs 2, the value of wisdom. Listen up, this is wisdom talking, it's the real deal. If you pay attention and put your heart into understanding. If you really seek insight and cry out for understanding. If you treat wisdom like it's pure gold, searching for it like hidden treasure. Then you'll get what's up, you'll understand what it means to respect the Lord. He's the source of all true knowledge and wisdom. He's got the real talk for the righteous, a shield for those who do right. He's got your back, guarding the paths of justice. When you're down with wisdom, you'll understand what's right and fair. You'll get a taste of real knowledge, and it's sweet. Discretion will be your homie, understanding will be your BFF. Wisdom will keep you away from those up to no good, those talking nonsense. People who don't know how to act right, abandon the straight and narrow path. They get a kick out of doing evil, they're pumped about causing trouble. Their paths are dark and crooked, they're lost and don't even know it. Wisdom is your guard against the seductive stranger, the one with a slick tongue. They've forgotten about their commitment to the one they should be loyal to. Their actions lead to death and destruction. When you're all about wisdom, you'll walk the righteous path. You'll roll with good people and stay on the right track. The land is made for the righteous, they'll inherit it and kick back. But the wicked, they're out of here, they won't stick around. The Lord will cut them off, they're not welcome in this hood. Proverbs 3, trust in the Lord. Don't forget the wisdom I'm dropping here, let it sink in. This stuff will add years to your life and bring you peace. Keep kindness and truth close, tattoo them on your heart. Doing this will win you the respect of both God and people. Trust God fully, don't rely solely on your own smarts. Seek Him in everything you do, and He'll guide your way. Don't act like you're the smartest person in the room, respect God and steer clear of trouble. Doing so will keep you healthy and strong. Honor God with your wealth and your first paycheck. You'll have plenty to spare if you do. When God corrects you, don't get all bent out of shape. He's just looking out for you, like a loving parent. Happy are those who find wisdom, it's like winning the lottery. Wisdom is worth more than gold and better than Bitcoin. Nothing else you desire even comes close. Wisdom comes with a long, good life and lots of wealth. Her ways are chill, and her paths are drama-free. She's like a tree of life to those who embrace her, they're set for life. God created the world with wisdom and set the heavens in place with understanding. He knew what He was doing when He made the oceans and arranged the sky. Don't lose sight of good judgment and common sense, they're your bling. Wear them like a fashion statement, they look good on you. They'll keep you from tripping and falling. You'll sleep like a baby, no nightmares here. Don't freak out about bad stuff that comes out of the blue. God's got your back, and He'll keep you safe. Don't hold back when you can help someone, be generous. Don't put things off, if you can help now, do it. Don't scheme against your neighbor, that's not cool. Don't accuse anyone if they didn't do you wrong. Stay away from troublemakers and their bad vibes. God's got love for the good people, they're His squad. But He's not vibing with the haters, they get bad karma. He's got jokes for the arrogant but gives props to the humble. The wise score respect and honor, while fools face shame. Proverbs 4, a father's wise counsel. Listen up, my kids, you're about to get some real wisdom. Pay attention to what your old man is lying down. I've been there, done that, learned a thing or two. My pops taught me well, he schooled me when I was young. He told me, son, hold on to my words, keep M locked in your brain. Don't forget M, cherish M, they're the key to life. Wisdom is the most important thing you can get, so get it, no matter what it costs. Cherish wisdom, it'll keep you on the straight and narrow. Wisdom will put you on a pedestal, you'll be on another level. Listen, my child, to what I'm telling you, take it to heart. I'm gonna share some life lessons, so listen up. When you follow my lead, you won't stumble, you won't trip. Hang on to instruction, it's your lifeline. Don't go where the wicked go, don't walk in their footsteps. Stay away from those places, they're bad news. The wicked can't sleep unless they've done something evil. They get high on causing pain and suffering. The path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining brighter and brighter. But the wicked, it's like they're stumbling around in the dark. My child, pay attention to my words, don't let M out of your sight. Keep M close, they're life to those who find M and medicine to their whole body. Protect your heart above all else, cause that's where life comes from. Watch what you say, keep your mouth in check. Get rid of that foul language, let only good stuff come out. Look straight ahead, don't get distracted by what's around. Pave a path that's straight and even, stay on track. Don't turn left or right, keep moving forward. Steer clear of evil, don't go down that road. Proverbs 5, avoiding adultery. Listen up, my peeps, and pay attention to what I gotta say. Wisdom is dropping knowledge, it's like gold, and I'm here to share it. Don't act all dumb and let this wisdom slip away, keep it in your sights. When you do, it's gonna protect you, keep you from the drama. Don't get all close and comfy with the loose woman or the smooth talker. They'll lead you down the wrong path, trust me on this one. You might think it's all fun and games, but it's a dead-end street. In the end, you're gonna regret it, it's gonna sting, like a snake bite. Keep your distance, don't even go near her door. Or your hard-earned cash is gonna end up in some other dude's wallet. When you're old and beat up, you'll be saying, why didn't I listen? Why didn't I pay attention to good advice? Instead, I followed the wrong crowd, I rolled with the bad ones. I paid the price for my bad choices in front of everyone. Drink water from your own well, my friend, stay satisfied at home. Let your love be for your spouse, keep it hot and steamy. Don't go chasing after others, keep your eyes locked in on what you've got. That's a real blessing right there. Let your love be like a wild river, an exciting thing between you. Don't mess around with others, don't share what's meant for you. God's keeping an eye on your ways. He's taking notes. The wicked are trapped by their own actions, they're stuck in their foolishness. They're gonna pay for their bad choices, they'll be tied down by their own sins. Proverbs 6, Warnings and Lessons. My people, if you've co-signed for a friend's loan or shook hands on a deal with a stranger, you better think twice, get out of that situation, and free yourself from the trap. If you've made a promise and opened your mouth in foolishness, it's time to eat your words. Do whatever it takes, even if it means humbling yourself to your friend, to get out of the mess. Don't be a lazy bum, don't hang around doing nothing. Check out the ant, how it stays busy, how it hustles to make sure it's got food for later. No boss, no supervisor, no one's telling it to get to work. It's got drive, it knows that when winter comes, it's ready. Are you lazy? You'll end up broke, like a beggar looking for scraps. Time to point out another life lesson. The no-good, evil-minded person, they plot evil and live for drama. They can't be trusted, they're always causing trouble. They wink and signal, stirring the pot of mischief. They're sly, with deceit in their heart, they'll end up in disaster. Disaster's coming for them, and they won't know what hit them. There are 6 things God absolutely hates, no joke, 7 that disgust him: pride, a lying tongue, hands that hurt the innocent, hearts that plan evil, feet that rush to do wrong, false witnesses, and those who stir up trouble. My kid, pay attention, wisdom's your guide. Keep her in your sights, don't let her out of your mind. Wisdom's got your back, even while you're sleeping. She'll light your path and keep you from the bad stuff. She'll protect you from the wrong crowd, from the smooth talker, from the one trying to lead you down a dark path. Don't let your heart get all weak and soft for someone like that. They'll cost you big time, they're after more than your money. You'll end up with nothing, totally wiped out. Adultery will mess up your life, like a wildfire burning everything in its path. Stealing is like hunger, driving you to do whatever it takes. But when you get caught, you'll pay 7 times over, even if you've got to give away everything you own. You're an idiot if you think an affair won't mess you up. You'll end up maimed and dishonored, with a reputation in tatters. Jealous is a fire, a flame you can't put out. It's gonna get ugly if you mess with someone else's spouse, no one's gonna let you off the hook. Proverbs 7, a warning against adultery. Pay attention to what I'm telling you, keep my advice in mind. Treat my teachings like a precious possession, keep them close to your heart. These life lessons are like your personal bodyguard, they're your GPS through life. They'll keep you from getting mixed up with the wrong crowd. When wisdom guides you, you'll be all good, she'll protect you. Here's the scoop: I was hanging out by the window, just chilling. I saw this dude, young and foolish, heading down the street. He walked right into the bad part of town, down the street where she lives. It was dark, night had fallen, and the streetlights were buzzing. Out comes a woman, dressed to kill, heart intent on trouble. She's loud, defiant, and can't be tamed. She's all over the place, in the streets and hanging out on corners. She grabs the young man and kisses him. She looks him in the eye and says, "I was waiting for you. You're the one I've been looking for." She's been spreading her bed with scented oils and making it all inviting. She's got a nice setup for this guy, all the trimmings. It's all good, she says. My husband's away on business, and he won't be back for a while. Come, let's enjoy each other, all night long. We'll have a blast. She's slick, persuasive, and knows how to sweet talk. He's convinced, he can't resist her. He's led like a cow to the slaughter, not knowing he's on a collision course. Like a dun deer caught in a trap, he's headed for the bow and arrow. He doesn't know that messing around with her means life's gonna catch up with him. Listen to me, kids, pay attention to my words. Don't get tangled up in her web, don't go down her path. She's brought down many, the list of casualties is endless. Her house is a one-way road to the grave, you're headed for the shadows of death. Proverbs 8, Wisdom's Call. Wisdom's calling out in the streets, raising her voice in the public square. She's shouting from the rooftops, speaking directly to you. Hey, you people. I'm here with something important to say. I've got insights and knowledge to share with you. I'm on your side, my words are right and true. What I have to say is straight up and honest. There's nothing deceitful or twisted here. All my words are plain and clear to anyone who wants to understand. Those who listen to me will find wisdom and insight. Choose my teachings over silver and gold, they are worth more than any treasure. The knowledge I offer is better than the finest jewels, and nothing you desire can compare. I am wisdom, I am prudence, and I have knowledge and discretion. Fear of the Lord is to hate evil, I hate arrogance and pride, wicked behavior, and dishonesty. I offer good advice and common sense, I have insight and strength. With me, kings reign, and rulers make fair decisions. Princes and nobles, all the judges of the earth, benefit from my guidance. I love those who love me, and those who seek me find me. Riches and honor are with me, and my yield is better than the finest gold. I lead in the way of righteousness and along the paths of justice. I give wealth to those who love me and fill their treasuries. The Lord formed me at the beginning of his work, the first of his acts in the distant past. I was appointed before the world began, before the oceans were created. I was given birth before the mountains and hills. While the earth was still a mass of nothingness, I was brought forth. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he set the circle upon the face of the deep, when he made firm the skies above and established the springs of the deep, when he assigned the sea its limits, and the waters won't break through his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth, I was beside him, a master worker. I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him all the time. I was delighted with the earth and its people, my joy was with humankind. Now, listen up. Those who listen to me will be blessed, those who keep my ways will be happy. Pay attention to my teaching, don't ignore it, stay alert and ready to learn. Happy are those who listen to me, watching and waiting at my door every day. Those who find me find life and receive favor from the Lord. But those who miss me harm themselves, all who hate me love death. Proverbs 9, Wisdom's Invitation. Wisdom has built a house and set her table. She has prepared a feast, mixed her wine, and sent out her servants. She calls from the highest point in the city, come in, you who lack understanding. Come, eat my food, drink the wine I have mixed. Forsake foolishness and live, and go in the way of insight. Whoever corrects a mocker invites insults, whoever rebukes the wicked incurs abuse. Do not rebuke mockers, or they will hate you, rebuke the wise, and they will love you. Instruct the wise, and they will be wiser still, teach the righteous, and they will add to their learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For through wisdom, your days will be many, and years will be added to your life. If you are wise, your wisdom will reward you, if you are a mocker, you alone will suffer. Folly is an unruly woman, she is simple and knows nothing. She sits at the door of her house, on a seat at the highest point of the city, calling out to those who pass by, who go straight on their way, let all who are simple come to my house. To those who have no sense, she says, stolen water is sweet, food eaten in secret is delicious. But little do they know that the dead are there, that her guests are deep in the realm of the dead. Proverbs 10, Wise Sayings for Life. Wise sayings for life, a wise child makes parents proud, but a foolish one is their heartache. Wealth from hard work is a blessing, but getting rich quickly brings trouble. A diligent worker has plenty to eat, lazy folk go hungry. A wise son harvests in summer, but a son who sleeps during harvest is a disgrace. Blessings crown the head of the righteous, but violence overwhelms the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the righteous is a blessing, but the name of the wicked will rot. The wise in heart accept commands, but a chattering fool comes to ruin. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. Whoever winks maliciously causes grief, and a chattering fool comes to ruin. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. Hatred stirs up conflict, but love covers over all wrongs. Wisdom is found on the lips of the discerning, but a rod is for the back of one who has no sense. The wise store up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool invites ruin. The wealth of the rich is their fortified city, but poverty is the ruin of the poor. The wages of the righteous is life, but the earnings of the wicked are sin and death. Whoever heeds discipline shows the way to life, but whoever ignores correction leads others astray. Whoever conceals hatred with lying lips and spreads slander is a fool. Sin is not ended by multiplying words, but the prudent hold their tongues. The tongue of the righteous is choice silver, but the heart of the wicked is of little value. The lips of the righteous nourish many, but fools die for lack of sense. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth, without painful toil for it. A fool finds pleasure in wicked schemes, but a person of understanding delights in wisdom. What the wicked dread will overtake them, what the righteous desire will be granted. When the storm has swept by, the wicked are gone, but the righteous stand firm forever. As vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so are sluggards to those who send them. The fear of the Lord adds length to life, but the years of the wicked are cut short. The prospect of the righteous is joy, but the hopes of the wicked come to nothing. The way of the Lord is a refuge for the blameless, but it is the ruin of those who do evil. The righteous will never be uprooted, but the wicked will not remain in the land. From the mouth of the righteous comes the fruit of wisdom, but a perverse tongue will be silenced. The lips of the righteous know what finds favor, but the mouth of the wicked only what is perverse. Proverbs 11, a guide to righteous living. Here's some guidance for righteous living. Honesty leads to integrity, but deceit ends in disaster. The Lord isn't impressed with those who act pridefully, but delights in the integrity of the humble. Wealth is worthless on the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the blameless makes their path straight, but the wicked are brought down by their wickedness. The righteousness of the upright delivers them, but the unfaithful are trapped by evil desires. Hopes placed in mortals die with them, all the promise of their power comes to nothing. The righteous person is rescued from trouble, and it falls on the wicked instead. With their mouths, the godless destroy their neighbors, but through knowledge the righteous escape. When the righteous prosper, the city rejoices, when the wicked perish, there are shouts of joy. Through the blessing of the upright a city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wicked it is destroyed. Whoever derides their neighbor has no sense, but the one who has understanding holds their tongue. A gossip betrays confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. For lack of guidance a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisers. Whoever puts up security for a stranger will surely suffer, but whoever refuses to shake hands in pledge is safe. A kind-hearted woman gains honor, but ruthless men gain only wealth. Those who are kind benefit themselves, but the cruel bring ruin to themselves. A wicked person earns deceptive wages, but the one who sows righteousness reaps a sure reward. Truly the righteous attain life, but whoever pursues evil finds death. The Lord detests those whose hearts are perverse, but he delights in those whose ways are blameless. Be sure of this, the wicked will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will go free. Like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who shows no discretion. The desire of the righteous ends only in good, but the hope of the wicked only in wrath. One person gives freely, yet gains even more, another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. A generous person will prosper, whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. People curse the one who hoards grain, but they pray for God's blessing on the one who is willing to sell. Whoever seeks good finds favor, but evil comes to one who searches for it. Those who trust in their riches will fall, but the righteous will thrive like a green leaf. Whoever brings ruin on their family will inherit only wind, and the fool will be a servant to the wise. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and the one who is wise saves lives. If the righteous receive their due on earth, how much more the ungodly and the sinner? Proverbs 12, a guide to righteous living. Here's more wisdom for righteous living. Good people enjoy God's favor, but the Lord condemns those with wicked schemes. One is established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous will never be moved. A good wife is the crown of her husband, but she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are just, the counsel of the wicked is deceit. The words of the wicked lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright delivers them. The wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous stands firm. A man is commended according to his good sense, but one of twisted mind is despised. Better to be lowly and have a servant than to play the great man and lack bread. The righteous has regard for the life of his beast, but the mercy of the wicked is cruel. Whoever works his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows worthless pursuits lacks sense. The wicked covet the spoil of revilers, but the root of the righteous bears fruit. An evil man is ensnared by the transgression of his lips, but the righteous escapes from trouble. From the fruit of his mouth, a man is satisfied with good, and the work of a man's hand comes back to him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. The vexation of a fool is known at once, but the prudent ignores an insult. Whoever speaks the truth gives honest evidence, but a false witness utters deceit. There is one whose rash words are like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of those who devise evil, but those who plan peace have joy. No ill befalls the righteous, but the wicked are filled with trouble. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight. A prudent man conceals knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaims folly. The hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor. Anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. One who is righteous is a guide to his neighbor, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. Whoever is slothful will not roast his game, but the diligent man will get precious wealth. In the path of righteousness is life, and in its pathway there is no death. Proverbs 13, a guide to righteous living. More wisdom for righteous living. Wise words lead to wealth and health, foolish chatter leads to poverty. Those who guard their lips preserve their lives, but those who speak rashly will come to ruin. The appetite of the lazy craves and gets nothing, but the desires of the diligent are fully satisfied. The righteous hate what is false, but the wicked make themselves a stench and bring shame on themselves. Righteousness guards the person of integrity, but wickedness overthrows the sinner. Some pretend to be rich, yet have nothing, others pretend to be poor, yet have great wealth. A person's riches may ransom their life, but the poor cannot respond to threatening rebukes. The light of the righteous shines brightly, but the lamp of the wicked is snuffed out. Where there is strife, there is pride, but wisdom is found in those who take advice. Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a desire fulfilled is a tree of life. Whoever despises the word brings destruction on themselves, but whoever reveres the commandment will be rewarded. The teaching of the wise is a fountain of life, turning a person from the snares of death. Good judgment wins favor, but the way of the unfaithful leads to their destruction. All who are prudent act with knowledge, but fools expose their folly. A wicked messenger falls into trouble, but a trustworthy envoy brings healing. Whoever disregards discipline comes to poverty and shame, but whoever heeds correction is honored. A longing fulfilled is sweet to the soul, but fools detest turning from evil. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Trouble pursues the sinner, but the righteous are rewarded with good things. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children, but a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. An unplowed field produces food for the poor, but injustice sweeps it away. Whoever spares the rod hates their children, but the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them. The righteous eat to their heart's content, but the stomach of the wicked goes hungry. Proverbs 14, a guide to righteous living. More wisdom for righteous living. Those who follow the right path fear the Lord, those who take the wrong path despise him. A fool's proud talk becomes a rod that beats him, but the wise gain honor with their words. Where there are no oxen, the stable is clean, but much strength is derived from the ox's labor. A truthful witness does not deceive, but a false witness pours out lies. A mocker seeks wisdom and finds none, but knowledge comes easily to the discerning. Stay away from a fool, for you will not find knowledge on their lips. The wisdom of the prudent is to give thought to their ways, but the folly of fools is deception. Fools mock at making amends for sin, but goodwill is found among the upright. Each heart knows its own bitterness, and no one else can share its joy. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. There is a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death. Even in laughter the heart may ache, and joy may end in grief. The faithless will be fully repaid for their ways, and the good rewarded for theirs. The simple believe anything, but the prudent give thought to their steps. The wise fear the Lord and shun evil, but a fool is hot-headed and yet feels secure. A quick-tempered person does foolish things, and the one who devises evil schemes is hated. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The evil bow down before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor are shunned even by their neighbors, but the rich have many friends. It is a sin to despise one's neighbor, but blessed is the one who is kind to the needy. Do not those who plot evil go astray? But those who plan what is good find love and faithfulness. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. The wealth of the wise is their crown, but the folly of fools yields folly. A truthful witness saves lives, But a false witness is deceitful. Whoever fears the Lord has a secure fortress, and for their children it will be a refuge. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, turning a person from the snares of death. A large population is a king's glory, but without subjects, a prince is ruined. Whoever is patient has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered displays folly. A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. Whoever oppresses the poor shows contempt for their Maker, but whoever is kind to the needy honors God. When calamity comes, the wicked are brought down, but even in death the righteous seek refuge in God. Wisdom reposes in the heart of the discerning, and even among fools she lets herself be known. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin condemns any people. A king delights in a wise servant, but a shameful servant incurs his wrath. Proverbs 15, a guide to righteous living. More wisdom for righteous living. Wise words come from a thoughtful heart, and gracious speech increases your charm. The Lord sees what happens everywhere, He's watching both the evil and the good. Gentle words are a tree of life, a deceitful tongue crushes the spirit. Only a fool despises a parent's discipline, whoever learns from correction is wise. There is treasure in the house of the godly, but the earnings of the wicked bring trouble. The lips of the wise give good advice, the heart of a fool has none to give. The Lord detests the sacrifice of the wicked, but He delights in the prayers of the upright. The Lord detests the way of the wicked, but He loves those who pursue godliness. Whoever abandons the right path will be severely disciplined, whoever hates correction will die. Even the depths of death and destruction are known by the Lord. How much more does He know the human heart? Mockers hate to be corrected, so they stay away from the wise. A glad heart makes a happy face, a broken heart crushes the spirit. A wise person is hungry for knowledge, while a fool feeds on trash. For the despondent, every day brings trouble, for the happy heart, life is a continual feast. Better to have little, with fear for the Lord, than to have great treasure and inner turmoil. A bowl of vegetables with someone you love is better than steak with someone you hate. A hot-tempered person starts fights, a cool-tempered person stops them. A lazy person's way is blocked with briars, but the path of the upright is an open highway. Sensible children bring joy to their father, foolish children despise their mother. Folly brings joy to those who have no sense, but those with understanding keep a straight course. Plans go wrong for lack of advice, many advisers bring success. Everyone enjoys a fitting reply, it is wonderful to say the right thing at the right time. The path of life leads upward for the wise, they leave the grave behind. The Lord tears down the house of the proud, but He protects the property of widows. The Lord detests evil plans, but He delights in pure words. Greed brings grief to the whole family, but those who hate bribes will live. The heart of the godly thinks carefully before speaking, the mouth of the wicked overflows with evil words. The Lord is far from the wicked, but He hears the prayers of the righteous. A cheerful look brings joy to the heart, good news makes for good health. If you listen to constructive criticism, you will be at home among the wise. If you reject discipline, you only harm yourself, but if you listen to correction, you grow in understanding. Fear of the Lord teaches wisdom, humility precedes honor. Proverbs 16, a guide to righteous living. More wisdom for righteous living. You may believe you are doing what is right, but the Lord judges your motives. Commit your actions to the Lord, and your plans will succeed. The Lord has made everything for His own purposes, even the wicked for a day of disaster. The Lord detests the proud, they will surely be punished. Unfailing love and faithfulness make atonement for sin. By fearing the Lord, people avoid evil. When people's lives please the Lord, even their enemies are at peace with them. Better to have little, with godliness, than to be rich and dishonest. We can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. The king speaks with divine wisdom, he must never judge unfairly. The Lord demands accurate scales and balances, He sets the standards for fairness. A king detests wrongdoing, for his rule is built on justice. The king is pleased with words from righteous lips, he loves those who speak honestly. The anger of the king is a deadly threat, the wise will try to appease it. When the king is happy, there is peace in the land. Better to have little fear of the Lord than to have great treasure and inner turmoil. The path of the virtuous leads away from evil, whoever follows that path is safe. Pride goes before destruction, and haughtiness before a fall. Better to live humbly with the poor than to share plunder with the proud. Those who listen to instruction will prosper, those who trust the Lord will be joyful. The wise are known for their understanding, and pleasant words are persuasive. Discretion is a life-giving fountain to those who possess it, but discipline is wasted on fools. From a wise mind comes wise speech, the words of the wise are persuasive. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. There is a path before each person that seems right, but it ends in death. It is good for workers to have an appetite, an empty stomach drives them to work. Scoundrels create trouble, their words are a destructive blaze. A troublemaker plants seeds of strife, gossip separates the best of friends. Violent people mislead their companions, leading them down a harmful path. With narrowed eyes, people plot evil, with a smirk, they plan their mischief. Grey hair is a crown of glory, it is gained by living a godly life. Better to be patient than powerful, better to have self-control than to conquer a city. We may throw the dice, but the Lord determines how they fall. Proverbs 17, more wisdom for righteous living. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. The Lord tests the heart. Wrongdoers eagerly listen to scandal, liars pay close attention to destructive gossip. Those who mock the poor insult their Maker, those who rejoice at the misfortune of others will be punished. Grandchildren are the crowning glory of the aged, parents are the pride of their children. Eloquent words are not fitting for a fool, even less are lies for a ruler. A bribe is like a lucky charm, whoever gives one will prosper. Love prospers when a fault is forgiven, but dwelling on it separates close friends. A single rebuke does more for a person of understanding than 100 lashes on the back of a fool. Evil people are eager for rebellion, but they will be severely punished. It is safer to meet a bear robbed of her cubs than to confront a fool caught in foolishness. If you repay good with evil, evil will never leave your house. Starting a quarrel is like breaching a dam, so drop the matter before a dispute breaks out. Acquitting the guilty and condemning the innocent, both are detestable to the Lord. Of what use is money in the hand of a fool, since they have no desire to get wisdom? A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. One who has no sense shakes hands in pledge and puts up security for a neighbor. Whoever loves a quarrel loves sin, whoever builds a high gate invites destruction. One whose heart is corrupt does not prosper, one whose tongue is perverse falls into trouble. To have a fool for a child brings grief, there is no joy for the parent of a godless fool. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. The wicked accept bribes in secret to pervert the course of justice. A discerning person keeps wisdom in view, but a fool's eyes wander to the ends of the earth. A foolish son brings grief to his father and bitterness to the mother who bore him. If imposing a fine on the innocent is not good, surely to flog honest officials is not. The one who has knowledge uses words with restraint, and whoever has understanding is even-tempered. Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues. Proverbs 18. Fools have no interest in understanding, they only want to air their own opinions. Doing wrong leads to disgrace, and scandalous behavior brings contempt. Wise words are like deep waters, wisdom flows from the wise like a bubbling brook. It is not right to acquit the guilty or deny justice to the innocent. Fools' words get them into constant quarrels, they are asking for a beating. The mouths of fools are their ruin, they trap themselves with their lips. Rumors are dainty morsels that sink deep into one's heart. Planning and persistence lead to success, hasty and unplanned attempts lead to failure. The name of the Lord is a strong fortress, the godly run to him and are safe. The rich think of their wealth as a strong defense, they imagine it to be a high wall of safety. Haughtiness goes before destruction, humility precedes honor. Spouting off before listening to the facts is both shameful and foolish. The human spirit can endure in sickness, but a crushed spirit who can bear? Intelligent people are always ready to learn. Their ears are open for knowledge. Giving a gift can open doors, it gives access to important people. The first to speak in court sounds right, until the cross-examination begins. Casting lots can end arguments and keep the strong apart. It is harder to win back friends you have lost than to capture a fortified city. Arguments separate friends like a gate locked with bars. Wise words satisfy like a good meal, the right words bring satisfaction. The tongue can bring death or life, those who love to talk will reap the consequences. The man who finds a wife finds a treasure and receives favor from the Lord. The poor plead for mercy, the rich answer with insults. There are friends who destroy each other, but a real friend sticks closer than a brother. Proverbs 19. Enthusiasm without knowledge is no good, haste makes mistakes. People ruin their lives by their own foolishness and then are angry at the Lord. Wealth makes many friends, poverty drives them all away. A false witness will not go unpunished, and a liar will be destroyed. Many seek favors from a ruler, everyone is the friend of a person who gives gifts. The relatives of the poor despise them, how much more will their friends avoid them? Though the poor plead with them, their friends are gone. To acquire wisdom is to love yourself, people who cherish understanding will prosper. A false witness will not go unpunished, and a liar will be destroyed. It isn't right for a fool to live in luxury or for a slave to rule over princes. Sensible people control their temper, they earn respect by overlooking wrongs. The king's anger is like a lion's roar, but his favor is like dew on the grass. A foolish child is a calamity to a father, a quarrelsome wife is as annoying as constant dripping. Fathers can give their sons an inheritance of houses and wealth, but only the Lord can give an understanding wife. Lazy people sleep soundly, but idleness leaves them hungry. Keep the commandments and keep your life, despising them leads to death. If you help the poor, you are lending to the Lord, and he will repay you. Discipline your children while there is hope. Otherwise, you will ruin their lives. Hot-tempered people must pay the penalty. If you rescue them once, you will have to do it again. Get all the advice and instruction you can, so you will be wise the rest of your life. You can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail. Loyalty makes a person attractive. It is better to be poor than dishonest. Fear of the Lord leads to life, bringing security and protection from harm. Lazy people take food in their hand but don't even lift it to their mouth. If you punish a mocker, the simple-minded will learn a lesson. If you correct the wise, they will be all the wiser. Children who mistreat their father or chase away their mother are an embarrassment and a public disgrace. If you stop listening to instruction, my child, you will turn your back on knowledge. A corrupt witness makes a mockery of justice, the mouth of the wicked gulps down evil. Punishment is made for mockers, and the backs of fools are made to be beaten. Proverbs 20. The king's fury is like a lion's roar, to rouse his anger is to risk your life. Avoiding a fight is a mark of honor, only fools insist on quarreling. Those too lazy to plow in the right season will have no food at the harvest. Though good advice lies deep within the heart, a person with understanding will draw it out. Many will say they are loyal friends, but who can find one who is truly reliable? The godly walk with integrity, blessed are their children after them. When a king sits in judgment, he weighs all the evidence, distinguishing the bad from the good. Who can say, I have cleansed my heart, I am pure and free from sin, false weights and unequal measures? The Lord detests double standards of every kind. Even children are known by the way they act, whether their conduct is pure, and whether it is right. Ears to hear and eyes to see, both are gifts from the Lord. If you love sleep, you will end in poverty. Keep your eyes open, and there will be plenty to eat. The buyer haggles over the price, saying, it's worthless, then brags about getting a bargain. Wise words are more valuable than much gold and many rubies. Get security from someone who guarantees a stranger's debt. Get a deposit if he does it for foreigners. Stolen bread tastes sweet, but it turns to gravel in the mouth. Plans succeed through good counsel, don't go to war without wise advice. A gossip goes around telling secrets, so don't hang around with chatterers. If you insult your father or mother, your light will be snuffed out in total darkness. An inheritance obtained too early in life is not a blessing in the end. Don't say, I will get even for this wrong. Wait for the Lord to handle the matter. The Lord detests double standards, he is not pleased by dishonest scales. The Lord directs our steps, so why try to understand everything along the way? Don't trap yourself by making a rash promise to God and only later counting the cost. A wise king scatters the wicked like wheat, and then runs over them with his threshing wheel. The Lord's light penetrates the human spirit, exposing every hidden motive. Unfailing love and faithfulness protect the king, his throne is made secure through love. The glory of the young is their strength, the gray hair of experience is the splendor of the old. Physical punishment cleanses away evil, such discipline purifies the heart. Proverbs 21. The king's heart is like a stream of water directed by the Lord, he guides it wherever he pleases. People may be right in their own eyes, but the Lord examines their heart. The Lord is more pleased when we do what is right and just than when we offer him sacrifices. Good planning and hard work lead to prosperity, but hasty shortcuts lead to poverty. Wealth created by a lying tongue is a vanishing mist and a deadly trap. The violence of the wicked sweeps them away because they refuse to do what is just. The guilty walk a crooked path, the innocent travel a straight road. It's better to live alone in the corner of an attic than with a quarrelsome wife in a lovely home. Evil people desire evil, their neighbors get no mercy from them. If you punish a mocker, the simple-minded become wise. If you instruct the wise, they will be all the wiser. The righteous one knows what is going on in the homes of the wicked, he will bring disaster on them. Those who shut their ears to the cries of the poor will be ignored in their own time of need. A secret gift calms anger, a bribe under the table pacifies fury. Justice is a joy to the godly, but it terrifies evildoers. The person who strays from common sense will end up in the company of the dead. Those who love pleasure will become poor, those who love wine and luxury will never be rich. The wicked are punished in place of the godly, and traitors in place of the honest. Better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife. Wise people live in wealth and luxury, but stupid people spend their money as fast as they get it. Those who follow the right path and fear the Lord are secure, but those who take the wrong path will be exposed. A wise person attacks the city of the mighty and pulls down the fortress in which they trust. Those who watch their mouths and their tongues keep themselves from calamity. Proud and arrogant people, mockers are their names, they act with insolent pride. The desires of lazy people will be their ruin, for their hands refuse to work. Some people are always greedy for more, but the godly love to give. The sacrifice of an evil person is detestable, especially when it is offered with wrong motives. A false witness will be cut off, but a credible witness will be allowed to speak. The wicked bluff their way through, but the virtuous think before they act. No human wisdom or understanding or plan can stand against the Lord. The horse is prepared for the day of battle, but the victory belongs to the Lord. Proverbs 22. A good reputation and respect are worth more than silver and gold. The Lord made both the rich and the poor, and he loves them all. A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. True humility and fear of the Lord lead to riches, honor, and long life. Corrupt people walk a thorny, treacherous road, whoever values life will avoid it. Direct your children onto the right path, and when they are older, they will not leave it. Just as the rich rule the poor, so the borrower is servant to the lender. Those who plant injustice will harvest disaster, and their reign of terror will come to an end. Drive out the mocker, and out goes strife, quarrels and insults are ended. The Lord loves to see people doing right, he takes pleasure in every step they take. Those who love a pure heart and are gracious in speech will have the king as their friend. The Lord preserves those with knowledge, but he ruins the plans of the treacherous. The lazy person claims, "There's a lion out there. If I go outside, I might be killed." The mouth of an immoral woman is a dangerous trap, those who make the Lord angry will fall into it. A youngster's heart is filled with foolishness, but physical discipline will drive it far away. A person who loves learning and listens to correction will become wise. You can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail. Loyalty makes a person attractive, it is better to be poor than dishonest. When you sit down to eat with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you. If you have a big appetite, put a knife to your throat, don't desire all the delicacies. The stingy are eager to get rich and are unaware that poverty awaits them. In the end, people appreciate honest criticism far more than flattery. The Lord directs our steps, so why try to understand everything along the way? Don't trap yourself by making a rash promise to God and only later counting the cost. A wise king scatters the wicked like wheat, then runs over them with his threshing wheel. The Lord's light penetrates the human spirit, exposing every hidden motive. Unfailing love and faithfulness protect the king, his throne is made secure through love. The glory of the young is their strength, the gray hair of experience is the splendor of the old. Physical punishment cleanses away evil, such discipline purifies the heart. Proverbs 23. Choose a good reputation over great riches. Being held in high esteem is better than silver or gold. The rich and the poor have this in common: the Lord made them both. A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. Just as the rich rule the poor, so the borrower is servant to the lender. True humility and fear of the Lord lead to riches, honor, and long life. Corrupt people walk a thorny, treacherous road. Whoever values life will avoid it. Give instruction to a child about the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Whoever sows injustice will reap calamity, and the rod of his fury will fail. The Lord loves those whose hearts are pure. They are the ones who are loyal to him. The eyes of the Lord watch over knowledge, but he frustrates the words of the unfaithful. The lazy person claims, "There's a lion out there. If I go outside, I might be killed." The mouth of an immoral woman is a dangerous trap. Those who make the Lord angry will fall into it. Physical discipline may well save them from death. My child, if your heart is wise, my own heart will rejoice. Everything in your life will be pleasant if you hold yourself back from applying force to others. Be sure you know the condition of your flocks. Give careful attention to your herds, for riches certainly do not last forever, and a crown is not secure for all generations. Don't be among those who are given to drinking too much wine or gorging on meat, for drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags. Listen to your father, who gave you life, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy the truth and do not sell it, wisdom, instruction, and insight as well. The father of a righteous child has great joy. A man who fathers a wise son rejoices in him. May your father and mother rejoice. May she who gave you birth be joyful. My son, give me your heart and let your eyes delight in my ways, for a prostitute is a deep pit, and a wayward wife is a narrow well. Like a bandit, she lies in wait and multiplies the unfaithful among men. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has strife? Who has complaints? Who has needless bruises? Who has bloodshot eyes? Those who linger over wine, who go to sample bowls of mixed wine. Do not gaze at wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it goes down smoothly. In the end it bites like a snake and poisons like a viper. Your eyes will see strange sights, and your mind will imagine confusing things. You will be like one sleeping on the high seas, lying on top of the rigging. They hit me, you will say, but I'm not hurt. They beat me, but I don't feel it. When will I wake up so I can find another drink? Proverbs 24. Do not envy the wicked, do not desire their company, for their hearts plot violence, and their lips talk about making trouble. Through wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. By knowledge, the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong, and a man of knowledge increases power, for by wise guidance you can wage your war, and in abundance of counselors there is victory. One who plans to do evil, men will call a schemer. The devising of folly is sin, and the scoffer is an abomination to men. If you are slack in the day of distress, your strength is limited. Deliver those who are being taken away to death, and those who are staggering to slaughter, oh, hold them back. If you say, "See, we did not know this," does he not consider it who weighs the hearts? And does he not know it who keeps your soul? And will he not render to man according to his work? My son, eat honey, for it is good, yes, the honey from the comb is sweet to your taste. Know that wisdom is thus for your soul. If you find it, then there will be a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Do not lie in wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Do not destroy his resting place. For a righteous man falls 7 times, and rises again, but the wicked stumble in time of calamity. Do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and do not let your heart be glad when he stumbles, or the Lord will see it and be displeased, and turn his anger away from him. Do not fret because of revilers or be envious of the wicked, for there will be no future for the evil man. The lamp of the wicked will be put out. My son, fear the Lord and the king. Do not associate with those who are given to change, for their calamity will rise suddenly, and who knows the ruin that comes from both of them. These also are sayings of the wise. To show partiality in judgment is not good. He who says to the wicked, "You are righteous," peoples will curse him, nations will abhor him, but to those who rebuke the wicked will be delight, and a good blessing will come upon them. He kisses the lips who gives an honest answer. Prepare your work outside and make it ready for yourself in the field. Afterwards, then, build your house. Do not be a witness against your neighbor without cause, and do not deceive with your lips. Do not say, "Thus I shall do to him as he has done to me, I will render to the man according to his work." I passed by the field of the sluggard and by the vineyard of the man lacking sense, and behold, it was completely overgrown with thistles. Its surface was covered with nettles, and its stone wall was broken down. When I saw, I reflected upon it, I looked, and received instruction. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. Then your poverty will come as a robber, and your want like an armed man. Proverbs 25. We honor God for what he conceals, we honor kings for what they reveal. As the heavens are high and the earth is deep, so the hearts of kings are unsearchable. Remove the impurities from silver, and the sterling will be ready for the silversmith. Remove the wicked from the king's court, and his reign will be made secure by justice. Don't demand an audience with the king or push for a place among the great. It's better to wait for an invitation to the head table than to be sent away in public disgrace. Just because you've seen something, don't be in a hurry to go to court. For what will you do in the end if your neighbor deals you a shameful defeat? When arguing with your neighbor, don't betray another person's secret. Others may accuse you of gossip, and you will never regain your good reputation. Timely advice is as lovely as golden apples in a silver basket. To one who listens, valid criticism is like a gold earring or other gold jewelry. Trustworthy messengers refresh like snow in summer. They revive the spirit of their employer. A person who promises a gift but doesn't give it is like clouds and wind that bring no rain. Patience can persuade a prince, and soft speech can break bones. Do you like honey? Don't eat too much, or it will make you sick. Don't visit your neighbors too often, or you will wear out your welcome. Telling lies about others is as harmful as hitting them with an axe, wounding them with a sword, or shooting them with a sharp arrow. Putting confidence in an unreliable person in times of trouble is like chewing with a broken tooth or walking on a lame foot. Singing cheerful songs to a person with a heavy heart is like taking someone's coat in cold weather or pouring vinegar in a wound. If your enemies are hungry, give them food to eat. If they are thirsty, give them water to drink. You will heap burning coals of shame on their heads, and the Lord will reward you. As the north wind brings rain, so a gossiping tongue causes anger. It's better to live alone in the corner of an attic than with a quarrelsome wife in a lovely home. Good news from far away is like cold water to the thirsty. If the godly give in to the wicked, it's like polluting a fountain or muddying a spring. It's not good to eat too much honey, and it's not good to seek honors for yourself. A person without self-control is like a city with broken down walls. Proverbs 26. Just as a fluttering sparrow or a darting swallow, an undeserved curse will not land on its intended victim. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the backs of fools. Don't answer the foolish arguments of fools, or you will become as foolish as they are. Be sure to answer the foolish arguments of fools, or they will become wise in their own estimation. Trusting a fool to convey a message is as foolish as cutting off one's feet or drinking poison. In the mouth of a fool, a proverb becomes as limp as a paralyzed leg. Honoring a fool is as foolish as tying a stone to a slingshot. A proverb in the mouth of a fool is like a thorny branch brandished by a drunk. An employer who hires a fool or a bystander is like an archer who shoots recklessly. As a dog returns to its vomit, so a fool repeats his foolishness. There is more hope for fools than for people who think they are wise. The lazy person is full of excuses, saying, "I can't go outside because there might be a lion on the road." Yes, I'm sure there's a lion out there. As a door turns on its hinges, so a lazy person turns on his bed. Lazy people take food in their hand but don't even lift it to their mouth. Lazy people consider themselves smarter than 7 wise counselors. Interfering in someone else's argument is as foolish as yanking a dog's ears. Just as damaging as a madman shooting a deadly weapon is someone who lies to a friend and then says, "I was only joking." Fire goes out without wood, and quarrels disappear when gossip stops. A quarrelsome person starts fights as easily as hot embers light charcoal or fire lights wood. Rumors are dainty morsels that sink deep into one's heart. Smooth words may hide a wicked heart, just as a pretty glaze covers a clay pot. People may cover their hatred with pleasant words, but they are deceiving you. They pretend to be kind, but don't believe them. Their hearts are full of many evils. While their hatred may be concealed by trickery, their wrongdoing will be exposed in the light of day. If you set a trap for others, you will get caught in it yourself. If you roll a boulder down on others, it will crush you instead. A lying tongue hates its victims, and flattering words cause ruin. Proverbs 27. Don't brag about tomorrow, since you don't know what the day will bring. Let someone else praise you, not your own mouth, a stranger, not your own lips. Stone is heavy and sand a burden, but a fool's provocation is heavier than both. Open criticism is better than unspoken love. Wounds from a friend are better than many kisses from an enemy. A person who is full refuses honey, but even bitter food tastes sweet to the hungry. A person who strays from home is like a bird that strays from its nest. The heartfelt counsel of a friend is as sweet as perfume and incense. Never abandon a friend, either yours or your father's. When disaster strikes, you won't have to ask your brother for assistance. It's better to go to a neighbor than to a brother who lives far away. Be wise, my child, and make my heart glad. Then I will be able to answer those who insult me. The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. Take the garment of one who puts up security for a stranger, hold it in pledge if it is done for an outsider. If anyone loudly blesses their neighbor early in the morning, it will be taken as a curse. A quarrelsome wife is like the dripping of a leaky roof in a rainstorm. Restraining her is like restraining the wind or grasping oil with the hand. Whoever can keep their mouth shut and their anger in check is a real hero. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. Whoever tends the fig tree will eat its fruit, and whoever protects their master will be honored. As water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart. Death and destruction are never satisfied, and neither are human eyes. Fire tests the purity of silver and gold, but a person is tested by being praised. You cannot separate fools from their foolishness, even though you grind them like grain with mortar and pestle. Know the state of your flocks, and put your heart into caring for your herds, for riches don't last forever, and the crown might not be passed to the next generation. After the hay is harvested and the new crop appears, and the mountain grasses are gathered in, your sheep will provide wool for clothing, and your goats will provide the price of a field. And you will have enough goat's milk for yourself, your family, and your servant girls. Proverbs 28. When there is moral rot within a nation, its government topples easily. But with wise and knowledgeable leaders, there is stability. A poor person who oppresses the poor is like a pounding rain that destroys the crops. To reject the law is to praise the wicked, to obey the law is to fight them. Evil people don't understand justice, but those who follow the Lord understand completely. Better to be poor and honest than rich and dishonest. Young people who obey the law are wise, those with wild friends bring shame to their parents. Income from charging high interest rates will end up in the pocket of someone who is kind to the poor. God detests the prayers of a person who ignores the law. Those who lead good people along an evil path will fall into their own trap, but the honest will inherit good things. Rich people may think they are wise, but a poor person with discernment can see right through them. When the godly succeed, everyone is glad. When the wicked take charge, people go into hiding. People who conceal their sins will not prosper, but if they confess and turn from them, they will receive mercy. Blessed are those who fear to do wrong, but the stubborn are headed for serious trouble. A wicked ruler is as dangerous to the poor as a roaring lion or an attacking bear. A ruler with no understanding will oppress his people, but one who hates corruption will have a long life. A murderer's tormented conscience will drive him into the grave. Don't protect him. The blameless will be rescued from harm, but the crooked will be suddenly destroyed. A hard worker has plenty of food, but a person who chases fantasies ends up in poverty. The trustworthy person will get a rich reward, but a person who wants quick riches will get into trouble. Showing partiality is never good, yet some will do wrong for a mere piece of bread. Greedy people try to get rich quick, but don't realize they're headed for poverty. In the end, people appreciate honest criticism far more than flattery. Anyone who steals from his father and mother and says, "What's wrong with that?" is no better than a murderer. Greed causes fighting, trusting the Lord leads to prosperity. Those who trust their own insight are foolish, but anyone who walks in wisdom is safe. Whoever gives to the poor will lack nothing, but those who close their eyes to poverty will be cursed. When the wicked rise to power, people go into hiding. But when the wicked perish, the godly thrive. Proverbs 29. When the godly are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in power, they groan. The man who loves wisdom brings joy to his father, but if he hangs around with prostitutes, his wealth is wasted. A just king gives stability to his nation, but one who demands bribes destroys it. To flatter friends is to lay a trap for their feet. Evil people are trapped by sin, but the righteous escape, shouting for joy. The godly care about the rights of the poor, the wicked don't care at all. Mockers can get a whole town agitated, but the wise will calm anger. If a wise person takes a fool to court, there will be ranting and ridicule, but no satisfaction. The bloodthirsty hate blameless people, but the upright seek to help them. Fools vent their anger, but the wise quietly hold it back. If a ruler listens to lies, all his officials become wicked. The poor and the oppressor have this in common: the Lord gives sight to the eyes of both. If a king judges the poor fairly, his throne will last forever. To discipline a child produces wisdom, but a mother is disgraced by an undisciplined child. When the wicked are in authority, sin flourishes, but the godly will live to see their downfall. Discipline your children, and they will give you peace of mind and will make your heart glad. When people do not accept divine guidance, they run wild. But whoever obeys the law is joyful. Words alone will not discipline a servant. The words may be understood, but they are not heeded. There is more hope for a fool than for someone who speaks without thinking. A servant pampered from childhood will become a rebel. An angry person starts fights, a hot-tempered person commits all kinds of sin. Pride ends in humiliation, while humility brings honor. If you assist a thief, you only hurt yourself. You are sworn to tell the truth, but you dare not testify. Fearing people is a dangerous trap, but trusting the Lord means safety. Many seek the ruler's favor, but justice comes from the Lord. The righteous despise the unjust, the wicked despise the godly. Proverbs 30. The sayings of Agur, son of Jakeh. The pronouncement. I am more stupid than any other person, and I lack the ability to understand the Holy One. Who has gone up to heaven and come down? Who has gathered the wind in his hands? Who has bound up the waters in his cloak? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is the name of his son, if you know? Every word of God is pure, he is a shield to those who take refuge in him. Don't add to his words, or he will rebuke you, and you will be proved a liar. 2 things I ask of you, don't deny them to me before I die. Keep falsehood and deceitful words far from me. Give me neither poverty nor wealth, feed me with the food I need. Otherwise, I might have too much and deny you, saying, Who is the Lord? Or I might have nothing and steal, profaning the name of my God. Don't slander a servant to his master, or he will curse you, and you will become guilty. There is a generation that curses its father and does not bless its mother. There is a generation that is pure in its own eyes, yet is not washed from its filth. There is a generation, how haughty its eyes and pretentious its looks. There is a generation whose teeth are swords, whose fangs are knives, devouring the oppressed from the land and the needy from among mankind. The leech has 2 daughters, give, give. 3 things are never satisfied, for never say, enough: a childless womb, earth, which is never satisfied with water, and fire, which never says, enough. As for the eye that ridicules a father and despises obedience to a mother, may ravens of the valley pluck it out and young vultures eat it. 3 things are too wondrous for me, for I can't understand: the way of an eagle in the sky, the way of a snake on a rock, the way of a ship at sea, and the way of a man with a young woman. This is the way of an adulteress: she eats and wipes her mouth and says, I've done nothing wrong. The earth trembles under 3 things, it cannot bear up under 4: a servant when he becomes king, a fool when he is stuffed with food, an unloved woman when she marries, and a servant girl when she ousts her queen. For things on earth are small, yet they are extremely wise; ants are not a strong people, yet they store up their food in the summer. Hyraxes are not a mighty people, yet they make their homes in the cliffs. Locusts have no king, yet all of them march in ranks. A lizard can be caught in your hands, yet it lives in kings' palaces. 3 things are stately in their stride, for are stately in their walk: a lion, which is mightiest among beasts and doesn't retreat before anything, a strutting rooster, a goat, and a king at the head of his army. If you've been foolish by exalting yourself, or if you've been scheming, put your hand over your mouth. For the churning of milk produces butter, and twisting a nose draws blood, and stirring up anger produces strife. Proverbs 31. The sayings of King Lemuel, an inspired utterance his mother taught him. O son of my womb, O son of my vows, do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. It is not for kings, Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, not for rulers to crave beer, lest they drink and forget what has been decreed, and deprive all the oppressed of their rights. Let beer be for those who are perishing, wine for those who are in anguish. Let them drink and forget their poverty and remember their misery no more. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly, defend the rights of the poor and needy. A wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night, she provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it, out of her earnings she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously, her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her bed, she is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity, she can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive, and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate.